TAB number 16 is Peep on the Sly. There's Saintly, my tip. Number 15 in the black and white checks and the yellow sleeves. Big horse. He won the Carbine Club Stakes here on Derby Day, and I think he's made giant strides since.
Yeah, he's a very rangy horse. There's Peep on the Sly, Sandown Guineas winner.
Yeah, he got up to beat Saintly in the Sandown Guineas. And there, of course, is Jean W. Harris. They're all in. Here's John Russell.
Line is good. Waiting for the light. There it is. Set, off and running in the Australian Cup. A good even start too, with the exception of Jern, who missed it a couple of lengths. It's a conspicuous last, settling into Stride and Viali, one of the early leaders. Campaign Warrior, Star Dancer out fast. So was Racer's Edge up towards the lead, followed by Nothing Like a Dana's Trap very deep along the riverside. He's going up past, further back there, Paris Lane, and back behind them over on the inside, Circles of Gold with Toiler. A length and a half further back is Starstruck, followed by Saintly. Over on the inside to Boarda. A length and a half, Dark Star on the inside of Peep on the Sly. They're followed by Pratara's Bay. Count Shivers is next to last, and Jern is last of all. Around the back, and Nothing Like a Dane takes up the running in the Australian Cup at the 1400. It's Nothing Like a Dane, a length and a half to Campaign Warrior. Close in behind them, Star Dancer, followed by Paris Lane. Viali's on the rails. Half a length further back is Racer's Edge, followed by Circles of Gold. In behind them, Saintly. Then Toil over on the inside, a length and a half to Boart, followed by Peep on the Sly. And they're followed by Starstruck, who's further back. Count Shivers is a long way off the leader. And Jern is commencing a run, and Pratara's Bay has dropped out to last, and well back as Dark Star. Nothing Like a Dane, the leader, as they went to the 1,000. Nothing Like a Dane, about a length clear. Campaign Warrior a second, a half length away. Over on the outside, moving up, just in behind them then is Paris Lane, and they're followed closely a bit further back in the field by Viali as they race near to the home turn, and back behind them then gaining ground. Saintly is coming to the picture, and Viali is just in behind them, and Racer's Edge is taking closer order. Peep on the Sly as they come around the home turn. 600 metres left to go. Nothing Like a Dane is the leader. Close up on the outside, going forward very quickly there into the picture is Dark Star with a good run, and he was followed by over on the inside Campaign Warrior. Saintly, Racer's Edge is not finding a great deal. Viali, Jern from a long way back. Nothing Like a Dane, the leader, being tackled in earnest now by Campaign Warrior, and over on the outside there Saintly is joining in. Start end there, followed by Peep on the Sly. Saintly hit the front of the Australian Cup and is well clear in the final stages. Saintly drew away. Nothing Like a Dane can't go on. Peep on the Sly finishing on, but it's Saintly's Australian Cup. Saintly wins it well. Second home, I think, Viali, Peep on the Sly. Third, Circles of Gold, Nothing Like a Dane. And they were followed next by Pratara's Bay. Racer's Edge behind them, Toil, followed by Count Shivers, Never in the Hunt, and well back to Star Dancer. Followed next there, well back behind them was Starstruck, followed by Paris Lane, and Jern is among the tail enders.
Yeah, little beauty boy, the Sydney Star Saintly, ridden by the Sydney champion jockey Darren Beedman. Had a big day in Melbourne today, and look at him stride away. He was 3 deep all the way, but Darren told me earlier in the day, he's such a long strider, you're better off being 3 wide travelling on him than being cluttered up, and oh, that's what you call a win. 4 lengths, Gary, and Viali, the imported horse, what a run he was. I think he's just going second placing there. There's Saintly stretching out.
Yeah, great run, Ken. He's a beautiful, rangy horse. Can only improve this horse, but Bart's given him a nice preparation. I thought Nick on the Run was a very good run.
Racing. Jumped at a beautiful line. Crying Game a bit slow into stride, and All Our Mob bounced quickly with Adventurous. Crying Game picking up ground. Falante and Juggler away well. Further out, All Our Mob. Adventurous in front down to the winning post now from Crying Game, and Falante third. All Our Mob goes back fourth, outside Juggler 2, then to Saintly, then Anthems, and Octagonal last of all, going out of the straight. Adventurous the leader at the 1700 metre mark, inclined to fight with the rider at the moment. Adventurous a length, Crying Game, 1.5 for Falante third. 2 further back is All Our Mob, 2 to Juggler, and they're stringing right out on the Cox Plate. 3 further back behind Juggler is Saintly, 2 to Anthems, and 3 last of all is Octagonal, and he must be 12 to 15 lengths off the lead. Around the turn, coming up inside the 1400, and Adventurous the leader in the Cox Plate. 3/4 Crying Game up at his quarters now. 2 to Falante, getting a nice run third. 3 lengths further back, All Our Mob running fourth. 1.5 Juggler fifth. 2 then to Saintly, 2 to Anthems, 3 to Octagonal. He must be 15 off the front. Down the back, 1,000 to go. In in the Cox Plate, and Crying Game goes up to Adventurous. 2.5 further back Falante, 3 further back All Our Mob, Juggler on the outside of it, 3/4, 2 to Saintly, 1.5 Anthems, and 2 to Octagonal, still 12 lengths off them around the turn at the 800 metre mark. Crying Game took over now from Adventurous. Falante comes out now for Dittman and is striding quickly to the lead now, a length further back All Our Mob. They're followed by Juggler, Saintly peeling out deep, and then Anthems, they're bunching up, 600 to go in the plate. Octagonal last but coming out now, he's about 4 lengths off them. Crying Game is grabbed by Falante. Juggler wider out on the track with All Our Mob, and Saintly putting in a run out wider. All Our Mob and Falante being tackled by Juggler, and the widest runner is Saintly with a run. All Our Mob, Falante now from Juggler and Saintly. 4 in line, 2 to Octagonal, they turn for home, and the whips are cracking. It's All Our Mob, Saintly, Juggler and Falante. Here's a great go, 150 to go, Falante. Saintly coming at it on the outside. Saintly getting up to Falante and Juggler the centre. Saintly on the outside. Falante strikes back, dead heat. Saintly may be a nose. Falante, nothing in it. Third's very tight. It's Juggler or All Our Mob, and a great finish, and they got away from Octagonal. They're followed by Crying Game. A gap to Anthems and Adventurers as last of all the judge has called for the photo.
Data has them. The lights on, and they're racing in the cup. Oscar Schindler fairly out. Alcove, one of the first to bounce towards the inside. Saintly, Arctic centre to stride quickly. Cheviot dropping back a bit. Nothing Like a Dane is prominent in the early stages. Away fast is Grey Shot on the outside. Court of Honour running up towards the leaders. Setico over on the outside, and dropping back a bit is Super Slew in the early stages, with Fewer Chosen pressing on towards the front runners. At the 2800, it's Grey Shot going to the lead here over Court of Honour. Nothing Like a Dane right on the speed. Third on the rail from Alcove. Wider out Fewer Chosen and Setico. They're followed further back by Super Slew on the outside of Istadard. My Kiwi Gold between horses on the rail is Saintly. Further back in the field then on My Kiwi Gold, got a slight check off heel. Circles of Gold on his inside from Couchivus. Then came the Phantom Chance outside the Bandit, a length and a half to Senator, followed by Oscar Schindler on the outside of him. Pace is good at the post, a lap to go. Skybow outside Arctic Scent, then came Doremus and Sapio. Boart second to last, and Cheviot is last of all. The Melbourne Cup field heads out of the straight now to the riverside, and Grey Shot is the leader. It's Grey Shot, a length and a half, Fewer Chosen. Nothing Like a Dane is on the rail third. Court of Honour is fourth. Around it Super Slew. Then follows Setico, Saintly over on the inside, having a nice run, followed by Alcove, and then Istadard the outside. A half a length away to Couchivus on the inside, and then Circles of Gold. 2 lengths My Kiwi Gold, the Bandit. 1 further back the Phantom Chance, 1.5 Senator. He's followed by Oscar Schindler. 3 lengths further back is Skybow, Arctic Scent. Sapio over on the inside, spotting them along start. Doremus around him, and then came Cheviot, and Boart is last of all. Heading towards the 1600, the halfway. Grey Shot by a length here, Fewer Chosen. Nothing Like a Dane third, a length and a half Super Slew. Saintly on the inside having a beautiful run. Court of Honour next, followed by Couchivus, Alcove. Then Setico, Istadard out wide. The Bandit, the rail, Circles of Gold, the centre. 1-2 Senator, and then the Phantom Chance and My Kiwi Gold. 2 lengths to Oscar Schindler, who races over on the outside of Arctic Centre, and then Skybow and Sapio. Doremus third last. Behind him is Cheviot, and Boart, the West Australian mare, whipped the field in at the 1200. The pace is starting to quicken a bit more now. Grey Shot by a length, Fewer Chosen. 2 lengths further back is Nothing Like a Dane, who's had a lovely run. Outside him Super Slew. 2.5 further back in the field. Court of Honour on the outside of Saintly. Setico next, and then Alcove, followed by Couchivus, and then trails Istadard, who's race wide. Back on the inside then the Bandit between runners, Circles of Gold. My Kiwi Gold starting a run around the outside from the Phantom Chance, and then Oscar Schindler spotting them a fair start coming to the home turn from Senator. Doremus back behind Oscar Schindler, and then Arctic Scent as they came up towards the home turn. Sapio well back, followed by Cheviot and Boart. At the turn in the cup now, and it's Grey Shot first for home. From coming after it, Nothing Like a Dane now. Fewer Chosen wider out from Super Slew. Saintly to the outside, and then came Couchivus, and further back in the field is Setico. Oscar Schindler out very wide. Nothing Like a Dane and Saintly at the 300. They reached the lead together from Couchivus, and then came Grey Shot and Skybow well back. It's Saintly at the 200. Saintly dashing 2 lengths in front. Cummings and Beedman. Cummings going for 10, and he's got it. Saintly well clear of Count Chivas, nothing like a Dane, and Skybow, but Saintly wins it easily from Count Chivas second, a photo third over Skybow or Senator who ran on well, then nothing like a Dane and Doremus, followed further back by Cheviot, and then came Grey Shot, Sapio, followed by the Bandit Arctic Set, Centico next, trailed by Estadard, Super Slew, the Phantom Chance, and then Oscar Schindler, who's finished a long way back, followed in by Alcove, Court of Honour, Boart, My Kiwi Gold, and Fewer Chosen, last to finish in the Melbourne Cup. History at Flemington. Bart's won his